Devin Booker added 31, 4, and 3. He's at the podium too.
Devin, tough loss, man. Thanks for your time. Great words on the Republic. I saw you were as aggressive offensively as I can recall seeing you. I'm curious, how do you try to transfer some of that to your teammates to bring more energy earlier?
I mean, it's on all of us. They came out, they punched us in the face to start the game, and I think we showed it at spots tonight and certain times, but they're not going to go away easily. So, we have to be locked in, from beginning to end.
Next is Dave McMenamin with ESPN, followed by Dwayne Rankin.
Devin, Monty lamented the defense giving up 58 points in the paint. He said there was too many open looks. When you guys were able to cut it, I think to 4, just too many open looks. What did you see defensively from your group?
I think they spaced us out well, running their small ball lineup, which opened the paint. But as a team, we still have to guard with 5 people. It's never a one-on-one matchup. So all 5 have to be locked in, and even the bench has to be ready. So, we have to show bodies and help each other out there.
Next up is Dwayne Rankin with the Arizona Republic, followed by Jovan Buha.
Yeah, Devin, the mask, was it a better fit for you tonight than last night, than the other night?
Just made a couple of adjustments, opened up the eye pocket, see it a little bit better, but yeah, it's a little bit better.
Wanted to follow up, Coach was saying that a game like that, as he called it, getting your butt kicked, will click in the sense of urgency. How much do you agree with that?
I think we're going to be ready to go for Game 6. That's a tough loss for us at home with a chance, to clinch to go to the NBA Finals. So, we're going to be ready.
Next is Jovan Buha with The Athletic, followed by Gina Mizell.
Hey, look, you mentioned the small ball lineup and them kind of spacing you guys out. You guys had actually fared well against it through the first 4 games, and they had actually been better when Zubac was on the floor. So what was kind of the difference in their small ball approach in this game?
I would have to go back and watch it again. But at the same time, 50 points in the paint, I think, we still helped each other in that area, even when they spaced us out in the previous games. But, you can blame it on everybody. A lot of straight line drives and no help at the same time. So, this is a five-man defense. It's been like that way the whole season, and we have to be better.
Next is Gina Mizell with Suns.com, and then Kellen Olson.
Look, you guys have done such a great job all season of responding after losses. Just what do you anticipate the next 48 hours are going to be like? I'm sure it's going to be a long wait for Game 6.
Yeah, we're going to be ready. We're going to look at the film of the game and, make the adjustments that are necessary. But still having fun with it. The process of this and the journey of it is, second to none. I said it after we lost the first one. Obviously, you don't want to lose any games, but, coming back into the film session, getting together as a team and talking everything out, that's part of it too. So, once you start enjoying that and having fun with that, I think good things happen for our team, and, we've responded well all season.
Next up is Kellen Olson with Arizona Sports.
Yeah, but to go off that, Monty all year has talked about not wanting to flush games like this because he wants you guys to take it in a bit and make the adjustments off that. How much has that helped your guys' success in these situations this year in terms of taking the emotions you feel after this one and making the tweaks? Well.
Yeah, it's just honesty, it's communication. We all have the same goal in this locker room. That's to win basketball games. So, when we don't do that, we look at what we did wrong. Or when we win basketball games, we do film sessions, still try to figure out where we can be better.
Final question is David Chinolago from Italy.
Hey, Brooke, what do you think you guys did wrong in terms of not having the urgency? Is it a matter of, mental thing, or you got punched in the face, as you said, and you didn't manage to get back in the game?
We managed to get back in the game a few times. I think they stretched it to 10 multiple times, and we fought back. It's just that last stretch. We don't want to spend the whole game fighting uphill, so, just come out with a sense of urgency and be ready to go.
Thanks for the time, Bo.
Appreciate it.
Series shifts back to LA as Monty Williams and the Suns drop Game 5 but lead 3-2. Here he is.
The way you guys came out and started that game with the 20-5 hole early.
No, I don't have an answer for what I attribute it to. It's just unacceptable the way we started the game. It was a big hole for us. It's pretty obvious that we can't play with the show up mentality. We showed up in the first quarter and they played with desperation, simple and plain.
Next up is Dave McMenamin with ESPN, followed by Dwayne Rankin.
Monty, you guys did make a push though. You take the lead in the third quarter.
Yeah.
Cut it, I think on the 4 midway through the fourth. What do you think you were missing to get over that point?
Guarding the ball, simple as that. That's basketball universal 101. You got to be able to guard the ball. We did. And they hit some tough shots, and you give them credit. They had 58 points in the paint. That's not something you would have expected, especially with them not having Zubac tonight. And so we will be better in the next game. But that's paramount on my mind right now is we got to play with way more force and competitive edge, and we got to guard the ball.
Next is Dwayne Rankin with the Arizona Republic, followed by Jovan Buha.
Yeah, Coach, you talked about points in the paint. Cousins, and just not. We went from hardly playing to having that kind of performance.
15 points off the bench. When you have to double guys like that, it forces you into rotations. We didn't meet him early. We let him get right to the block tonight. He got whatever he wanted for the time he was in the game, and he was a presence tonight. They played with determination. You know, we have to realize we're trying to close out a series against a team that's been there before, and they're going to claw and scratch and do whatever it takes. We have to have that mentality. And I didn't feel that in the first quarter. As the game progressed, we had it, and then they had confidence because they were making shots.
Next is Jovan Buha with the Athletic, followed by Kellen Olson.
Hey, Monty, without Zubac, they played a lot more small ball.
Yeah.
I think they went small for like 37 minutes. They had actually played better with Zubac versus the small lineup. What kind of changed tonight did you feel with them having success going small?
I didn't think we showed them enough bodies. Even when they were in one-on-one situations, I thought we were spread out. When we looked at it at halftime, you could see nothing but paint instead of seeing Suns' bodies and arms, even when they were in isolation situations with Paul and Reggie and Morris. We didn't show them enough bodies. And when they have a small lineup like that, they're going to try to spread you out. Again, it comes down to being able to guard the ball and forcing them to shoot tough shots. We let Paul go left, step back. How many times did we see that tonight? You know, Reggie went left into his shot. There were times we were shifted too far off of Reggie, and he hit some deep threes. But in that moment, you have to understand that he's going to take those shots, especially late in the game.
Next is Kellen Olson with Arizona Sports, followed by Gina Mizell.
Hey, Monty, for you guys offensively, the Clippers went zone to start the game.
Yeah.
How did you assess the way you guys handled it early on?
I didn't think early we held the ball too much. That's all we talked about was once the ball gets to the second side, take off. You know, either shoot it or get to the paint. When we did it, it looked pretty good. And I thought we allowed them to force us to stay on the side of the floor instead of getting over top of the screens. When you get over top of the screen versus the zone, then you can force them into rotations. We didn't do a good job of that tonight, but we will. We will be better. They'll probably do the same thing, throw some defenses at us like that, and we have to be better.
Next is Gina Mizell with Suns.com, followed by Cameron Cox.
Monty, you kind of touched on this in your first answer, but just you have the 2-0 in closeout games before. What do you think you've learned now about closeout games as you get deeper in the playoffs, and just what do you anticipate the next step?
The desperation has to be there. That's the deal. You know, just because you have a lead in the series doesn't mean you can show up and they're going to give it to you. You know, we have to understand that, and I think we do now. We will be better when we show up the next time we play. But their desperation, their competitive edge tonight was consistent for 48 minutes. We did it in spurts, and we certainly didn't start the game with it.
Next is Cameron Cox with 12 News, followed by Sierra.
Let's take a look at this series schedule as the Western Conference Finals have been extended. Game 6 is in Los Angeles Wednesday at 9 Eastern on ESPN. So let's take a look ahead to Game 6. Clippers.